Hey guys, we are back in the land of books and movies, and we are going on a little field trip to Spain during the Spanish Civil War, where Pan's Labyrinth takes place. This one is a movie first and novelization second, both by the same writer. So the presentation in the movie is a spot-on match to the book. This could make for a very quick video, but it's still worth talking about since it's a very beautiful movie that can be a little misleading. It's a story about an 8-year-old fantasy aficionado and her story having parallels in an alternate world on the other side of a labyrinth, but it's also considered a disturbing movie because the primary villain is a child killing psychopath with military rank, and there are some stomach turning and heart wrenching content involving the unfortunate fate of two fairies, two farmers, and one mandrake root. And also, for the briefest of moments near the end, the protagonist. What is missing from the movie is who everyone is in her immediate circle in the alternate realm. The chapters alternate between the regular world, where Ophelia's bleak existence with her dying mother under Captain Vidal's control are, with several members of the resistance hiding in plain sight, and the alternate world behind the labyrinth that the fairies and the faun are trying to lead her back to. They keep calling her princess, making it obvious that she is the princess mentioned in the beginning. In Ophelia's mind, in the book, she frequently refers to her new stepfather as the Wolf, and he is known to us as Captain Ernesto Vidal, and he is obsessed with his unborn son and his pocket watch in this world. The logic behind it is dropped in just a few words of dialogue. But in the story, he is the parallel of a tyrannical king who rules over his children's every minute using a multitude of clocks for wake up time, mealtime, playtime, and bedtime. And one day, his favorite fool made a joke that he didn't care for, that his obsession with clocks was because he was afraid of death. This king couldn't have anyone thinking he was afraid of anything. So he had this fool racked to the biggest clock to suffer a slow and painful death. Nobody among the king's household could clean the blood from the gears of the clock, and it earned its nickname the Red Clock, and they said it was said to sounded like every tick whispered the fool's name. 10 years to the day, the king receives an elaborately designed and monogrammed pocket watch from the watchmaker, and it came with a note. It was an enchanted pocket watch with the exact time of the king's death down to the second, locked inside. He is never to know this information, and if he breaks the watch trying to cheat this enchantment, he'll die sooner. The king's son sent out to find the guy who delivered the watch, and when he did, he was given he told them he was given his instructions in writing anonymously from a deserted and secluded workshop. And when they found this workshop, there was nothing there except a silver figurine of a dancing fool in a bowl of blood. When they brought this information back to the king, they were too late. He was dead, and the watch stopped at the exact time the fool died. And that chapter ends with the prince remembering that the fool also had a son. So there is the alternate story behind Vidal and his obsession with his watch and his son, and being cruel and being outsmarted by the household staff who were all part of the resistance. And that is really the only big noticeable difference between the book and the movie, even though it's kind of the same, but it's probably to keep the movie within a reasonable running time. All right, despite having to read the subtitles, I still really enjoyed this movie, and I think an Americanized remake would kind of ruin it. The talent, the design, and the effects are all pitch perfect. I especially love the animation of the faun and the voice talent, and it's all exactly what it needs to be. And that is my take on Pan's Labyrinth. Thank you so much for joining me again, And if you like what I do on this channel, please help me keep growing with the comments, shares, likes, and please consider subscribing and checking out my affiliates. And see you next book and movie.